I used to have a shower at work all the time, you know. And today, the Saturday, I come home and I said, I'm going to drive home. I'm not going to have a shower, I'll go home and have a bath. I walked home, took my shoes and that off outside, put them on the landing, left them on the landing. And I was white from my hair up, all my white was pure white, and my legs up to here was pure white. The rest of it was black.
And Daphne rang us up and said he's in hospital, and I went up there to see him, and he's sitting up in bed and he's coughing. And believe it or not, those sick bags they have in the hospital, nurse would change one of those and give him a new one, and he'd be sitting there and I'd give him this thing and he'd sit there and he's going, and the blood was like a waterfall coming out of his mouth, pouring. And I'd take that one away and give him a new one. I took about 4 or 5 away and put them in the yellow bin they have in the next room over there. Oh, I tell you what, I was nearly ready to die at the same time.
Well, I went down to Martyrs to visit him when he was down there. Took Mum down because she didn't have another way of getting down there. She rang me up and said she needed to go see him, so come over and got her and took Mum down. And come home that afternoon, not to upset him, but I didn't want to tell him this particularly. I rang up all my children, his grandchildren, and told them they better get down there. You know, I said there's a good chance he ain't going to come out.
That's what you're saying.
He was
that ripple effect, eh?
Yeah, he was bad. He was bad. No, you're right. Hey. It's all right. Yeah, didn't want to say that. Didn't want to say that in front of him, but
Yeah.
No, but I'd rather know. What they call is black lungs, and what it is, it's the fine dust. Like when I was up in the miner, I'd be sitting there and we have the sprays going, but the sprays are not heavy enough, the water sprays are not heavy enough to hold the dust down. You can see the dust floating back over top of you. But the dust you see floating back over top of you is not the one that does the damage. It's the real fine stuff you don't see. And you're sitting there, and of course, they never used to supply mask, anything, dust mask, anything, and you're just breathing it in, and that's what's caused all the problem.
when the doctor was telling us about removing part of his lung and all the rest of this, and he says, I'm ready, I know this is coming, I'm ready for it, and he says about how he's had enough and he'd like to take his own life and all the rest of this. He says all that. But I saw the terror in his eyes, okay? He was terrified, and I've never seen my father terrified, and he was.
Sometimes I'll be sitting in there, I won't even talk to Dad for a good while, an hour, maybe more. I just clamp up because it just drives me up the wall that much. And I'll be sitting there, and next minute I just start shaking like anything. And she'll get up, you want a cuppa? I'd love one. So she'll get up and go and make a cup of tea or something like that for me, you know. And that seems to help me settle down when I know she's trying to do something for me.
Yeah.
Well, Mum's not out here talking with us because it upsets her.
Yeah.
Right? She wouldn't be able to hold it together.
How do you describe the relationship between your parents?
Constant. It's been there my whole life. They have their moments, they fight like everybody else. Dad pisses Mum off. Mum flies off the handle about things, but that's life, you know, everybody does that. But at the end of it, if they didn't have each other, they'd only be half a person.
I used to have a motorbike, and down at Bindamba, it's all changed now. Her and her sisters and a friend were sitting under the shop morning, and I drove past on my motorbike, he's something back, and the girls were sitting there, and every time they were sitting there waiting for me. And we got up the road a mile or two. I said to the cousin, I said, we're going back. I went back, pulled up, parked the bike, and she dropped a cigarette packet. I bent down, picked it up, and I said, that's a surprise. I'm taking you to pictures tonight. As soon as we sat down, I went to sleep on her. And that's it. We just carried on from then, you know.
Not to downplay what's happening to Dad, but how it will really react on Mum being left behind. Okay? That's the part that really scares me. Yeah. You know, Mum's never known Dad not to be here.
But she's not the best neither.
No, Mum's health's not the best. You know, she suffers in silence and just takes it all in her stride, you know. Yeah, it's just it's going to be hard to cope with. Yeah. Sorry.
Where's he going?
You're just stretching a bit, I think.
Bad question. Bad question.
Yeah.
Oh, I do apologize.
No, that's all right. No, that's fine.
I've had them.
You heard enough?
Yeah, no.
The government and the mines department know what's going to happen, and this is why we're trying to get them to agree, own up to it, and say, yeah, you've got it, and change it so they can make it better for the new workers. If you get that bad like the way I've got it, I would say, don't go in. Get out of it, you know, because it's not worth risking your health and your life over anything like that.